There we are, the last day of EDS Awareness Month. But of course the awareness doesn't stop there. So now what? If you don't know me, hi, I'm Corey and I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. If you don't know anything about EDS, go watch my other videos because here I'm gonna talk about spreading awareness. There's many ways to spread awareness. I personally believe that it is a choice that no one should be forced to, even if people might want them to. It's demanding a lot of strength and energy, and sometimes we don't have that to spare in awareness when we just try to survive. And even if we have the strength, we ask too quickly to people to be advocates and to know everything perfectly and never be wrong, which is unrealistic, especially with such a complex and diverse condition that EDS is. What I'm trying to say is that it's okay not being perfect or not wanting to advocate or spread awareness. No one should feel forced to do so. But if you want to, there's many ways to spread awareness depending on what works the best for you. Personally, I'm wearing a badge saying that I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. People might see it and ask questions, or not. Or they might ask why I'm wearing my braces or my compression garments. As an example, last year after my PT group and I finished our therapy together, one lady asked me why I was wearing them. So I talked a little bit about EDS. At the end of her hospitalization, she asked me if I could write the name of my condition on paper, because she was intrigued and wanting to learn more about it. Which brings us to my second advice. Always have a flyer explaining EDS with you. I have some for the new doctors in case they have never heard of EDS, but that day I could give it to that lady and it had some internet references which would have helped more with her research. It's also useful if you want to spread awareness about it to someone but don't have the time or energy to do so. The flyers will give a lot of information for them to see some of the many common symptoms of EDS. In real life, that's what I'm doing. But I'm mostly spreading awareness on internet, especially with my French YouTube channel. On TikTok, it's more chill for me, except for EDS Awareness Month. I don't really plan things in advance. For YouTube, it's different. It has more works and ultimately more spoons for me to do it. But in French, we don't have as much resources as in English, so I decided it was worth it. And when someone on the Facebook group that I'm in asks a question about EDS that I've talked about in one of my videos, boom, I send them the link. So for helping people having information long term, it's a good investment. But there's other way to spread awareness. You might collect money for an association. You might use your creativity to do a zine talking about EDS. You might even write a book or work as an advocate for EDS people in person. There's many ways to spread awareness depending on your talent and your energy. Maybe you can take part in a conference to talk about your experience. You might talk about it to a journalist who would print an article about your interview, or you might go on TV. You can ask your teacher or your boss to take an hour to explain what is EDS and what accommodations you need to your classmates or colleagues. That is also spreading awareness to them. And if you don't want to do all of that and still spread awareness, you can simply share on social media content about EDS. There's a ton of good content now about this condition, and sharing it would bring awareness to the people following you on social media. EDS Awareness Month is over, but the work continues. For June, I'll talk less about EDS and will stitch to it or share mostly content about trans identity, since it will be Pride Month. It's a different way to spread awareness than what I've done with EDS, but sharing content is really powerful too. Nowadays, I feel we most often spread misinformations to warn people, but it's creating more visibility for that misinformations. So for June, it's important for me to spread awareness and the truth about the lives of people like me. Remember to think about intersectionality. Ehlers-Danlos can touch everyone, and it's important to think about sharing content from people that have different experiences than us. Other type of EDS, people with a different racial background, other gender, other class. I myself want to do better to follow that advice. So yeah, that is all for now. Lots of spoons everyone. Bye!